Welcome to the Backyard Professor Responds videos. Happy New Year. January 1st, 2025. No better way to start off the year in our continuing and ongoing investigation of UFOs and aliens than some of the most fabulous, fascinating, intriguing video footage of UFOs I have ever seen. This guy is the real deal. I really like his work. I've reached out to him. I do believe I'm going to be able to get him on my show this year. Very excellent. He lives in Las Vegas. He's at the mouth of the Red Rock Canyon, I believe he says, there in Las Vegas. And he uses night vision cameras to look at the sky. And what this guy has captured is truly astonishing. Let's take a look.
And this is a Luna Optics night vision monocular. And usually, most people use it for hunting animals and maybe other reasons. But I became one of the people that uses it for UFOs because it's picking up light in the sky that you can't see with your eyes. In almost every case where you're looking at this, Jeff, I am in Las Vegas near the entrance to Red Rock Canyon. I'm 1,800 feet higher than the valley part. And, if you're in downtown Las Vegas, we're that much higher because we're in the foothills of the Springs Mountains and at the entrance into Red Rock Canyon. And the views are just unbelievable from here. And I'll go ahead and explain what's going on. Now, I sped it up because this is the only way you can really see what these things are doing. When this thing is running at normal speed, these look like they could be stars because you don't really notice the movement in them. They're very slow how they move around. They can be very fast as well. But this is the first things that I started seeing in this part of the sky that there was never anything. And what's interesting is this is not over like the Nellis test range. It's not over Area 51. It's over the mountains, which is all Bureau of Land Management.
Now that is pretty cool. Now he's using a night vision monocular. And I've been looking up the prices of those, and they only range anywhere from, you get one as low as $89. They can go up to $229. I think what I'm going to try to get me this year is my birthday is coming up here in a few days. I'm going to get me a night vision camera kit, a high definition, I believe it's a 8-power zoom, etc. I'm going to try to get a kit, and I'm going to start watching the sky with night vision like Steve here does. Very cool stuff. It's interesting that he said he sped it up, and in the process of speeding it up, you can see how these things wander around and all. These are not jets, and they certainly, he's late at night, they certainly are not quadcopters. They're not anything other than what he said. They're orbs floating there in the sky. Drones don't do this. Not out where he's looking. I used to live in Las Vegas back in '91, and I know exactly where he's looking, to the north and to the east, out toward the mountain range. I-15 is heading up out of the valley where he's at, and it's a long stretch of I-15, and then below him and down to the south is Las Vegas. So he's out of the city's light pollution, and he's looking up there into the dark part of the sky, way up into the middle of Nevada, where he's seeing these. This is really interesting footage. Some of the captures he has are really fun to see.
And here's another one that I thought you might find interesting, is that once again, I'm going to pause it real quick. I'm filming these white orbs. They're moving east above the Las Vegas mountains in the Northern Valley. And as I'm watching them, One of them goes off the screen, and if you watch to the left of the one on the left, you're going to see a little bit of what looks like red mist and a tiny little pinprick of light starting to emerge. And this was the first time I ever caught one manifesting and just coming into being a full-fledged orb out of nothing. There was not a cloud in the sky this night. So watch this. Now, the one on the right has kind of got a reddish hue around it. That one goes off the screen. But when I saw this, I zoomed in. I saw something weird's going on there. You can barely see this little foggy red color and little pinprick of light. And once you see it, it's going to, all of a sudden, it's going to form into a full-fledged white orb, just like the others. And it's not coming through a cloud or anything. I just flabbergasted when I saw this happen. So it's still in the process, but now it's almost 100%, just like the one that's still on the right. Now I'm following it, and I just stay on it because I don't know what it's going to do. And the other one went off the screen. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to just real quickly move the screen to the right, the camera to the right, to make sure it's still there, which it is. But the original one that was the first one is gone.
That was spectacular. I don't know if I've ever seen something like that. Just whoosh, he caught it popping right into existence, or at least getting here from somewhere else. Not a cloud in the sky, and all of a sudden that thing shows up like that. That is premium quality video of a UFO orb. I loved that one. That is without question one of my favorite ones. Let's look at some more that this guy's captured.
You know, that's why I have tripods for everything. But, you know, there's probably something to be said about them being blurry, that the UFOs maybe have a way of causing some of that. I don't know. But this is, you know, this is the same thing. They just haven't gone below the roof yet. And once they did, I had the other camera on it. I had to put it up on the top of 3 upside down planter pots to get it enough height to see what was going on at the end of the night vision portion. This one ended when they went below the roof line. So that was that. But this was another really exciting event that I filmed, and I was just elated that it was lasted so long and that I was able to capture it with 2 cameras.
Do you think that these are some sort of plasma ship or something? Because as you can see, the lights, you know, increase and decrease in brightness. They're almost kind of flickering.
Yeah. You know, one thing I always say about now is that they could be just about anything, especially ones like these. You know, I think that most of my videos are night vision, and I think that they are somehow involved with Nellis Air Force Base. But there's a good portion of my videos that are in other areas that showed completely different things that I think those a very good chance of being extraterrestrial.
What I'm really enjoying about his video captures here is watching the orbs go back and forth and up and down, and then getting dimmer and some of them disappearing and then coming back and twinkling, etc. These are not jets flying into the Las Vegas airport, and they're not drones, because he is way out past Vegas. I know the exact spot he's at because I drove up Red Rock Canyon. It's got a beautiful picnic area up there, way up in the mountain. It's the only mountain in the whole of Las Vegas, pretty much. It's to the north of the city proper, and it's a big dip miles and miles and miles wide and long and far. It's a big dip of nothing but dirt and sagebrush because you're in the desert. And then it goes way up into the mountain. And that's the area that I mean, there are not people out there at night flying drones. He did these now for the course of the last 11 years. This was long before it was legal to fly drones at night. That's just a brand new law by the FAA. But some of these are several years old. And this is just spectacular. He does give a hint. He says on a couple of these, if I remember right, yeah, I did this one about 6 years ago or whatever. He has about 300 videos of these things occurring. So this is tremendous stuff. This is really good video. Wait till you see his mothership, and wait till you see the daylight UFO. I've never ever seen anything so spectacular.
This white orb, it's coming from the Las Vegas mountains. This time it's coming much closer to my area, and it's not going to go right over my house, but right near my house. And eventually it ends up going behind a tree, and that's where I lose it. But as this thing's going, all of a sudden, I put this at normal speed now. This flies through the picture. And then I just slow that down. And that's my elongated Tic-Tac. This thing flew right through the picture. I was looking through the eyepiece when it happened, because I'm operating the camera and it doesn't have a screen. And there's the side-by-side twin orbs too. It's a little bit oblong. I thought maybe that wasn't just one orb, it was probably two. We'll get another couple of looks at this in a minute. But for a long time, I didn't pay much attention to anything that happened after that, because it seemed like just a white orb, you know. There's that tree that it goes behind. So anyway, less than 7 minutes later, here comes another white orb, and it's just moving really, really slow. So, you know, obviously don't want to just spend minutes having that just slowly move. So I'm going to speed that up a little bit. And you can see it's just barely pulsing, which could be the air, the August heat, something like that. But you'll see something amazing happen. And this has happened to me about 4 or 5 times over the years, where one of these comes up and just stops. And then all of a sudden it starts glowing very brightly with almost a bluish aura around it. And it's almost to that point right now. Stayed there. It just stayed there. And at Nellis Airport, I know they know that what I'm doing. Look how beautiful that is. And it's just floating there, just sitting right there. And then eventually it dims back down and moves right back, going back the other direction again. Somehow, I happen to be in the right place at the right time in Canada and in Vegas, where this door opened. It's like some kind of door opened for me, making this all it's just making this not impossible, possible.
I love the fact that these UFO orbs have incredibly interesting light, colors of light, glowing. They really are quite beautiful. The way that this thing just floats and then expands and changes colors and has that purple ring around it. And how about that Tic-Tac shooting through between those other two? They're out there playing in the sky. This playful aspect of UFOs has been noted by several other researchers as well. This is all just incredible video that I'm very glad we get to enjoy.
Perfect place to film them from. Earlier, I told you in one of these things it wasn't blurry, but you could see kind of inside of it. And this is one of those, I think. Yep, there you go. There's something inside of that. And I've seen that a whole bunch of times over the years.
And that is also a theme that the Tedesco brothers shared with me on my video with them I had a couple weeks ago, actually just a week ago. And other various peoples who have experienced these orbs have described various polyhedra or geometric shapes within the orbs themselves. One of the theories is that as these things are rotating, and whatever it is inside, as it moves faster and faster and faster, the globe glows brighter. And then as it slows down, it'll dim. And that gives, from a distance, that gives them their sparkling effect. Very, very interesting, cool stuff. Let's keep watching.
This is probably my favorite video of all. And of course, it's always, you get somebody say that's a balloon. But what happened is, I don't get very many daytime UFOs, but in this case, I did. And it's taking my dog out. It's probably about 6 in the evening, but it was still light out because it's summer. And it's also, we get the monsoon season here in Las Vegas. And on this day was the most beautiful, gigantic monsoon cloud right over the city. And I look up as I'm coming out and I see this little object in front of it. And it's more of a burgundy color. And as you see it right now, it has little spots on it. I'm going to try to stop this in the right place. But you see this moving wildly around. And I've seen that on so many videos, not just my own. So it's swaying one way and another way, but watch this thing. Is as it's moving, I got it where it's just showing every frame by frame, quickly. It's just moving, okay? And now look around this thing. Even though it's in front of a white cloud, you'll see times when it looks like it's this aura around this object is so solid white, it even shows up in front of a white cloud. And then the white dot in the middle that you see right there, that will turn into an amber sphere that looks like it's glowing like a light. And I'll try to stop it when that happens. It does it more than once, but it's shape shifting. This thing is a shapeshifter, and how this ended was a mind blower.
I think without question that is fundamentally the clearest photo video of a UFO that I have ever seen. And it just keeps getting better. A shapeshifter. You can see this thing wobbling, and I've heard descriptions of some of the UFOs that wobble as they move. We're definitely seeing that. And then it's almost tumbling back and forth and wobbling. And as it does, it's changing its shape. Sometimes it looks like it has a bunch of spikes. Other times it's circular. Sometimes it's a disc. It's a weird thing we're seeing here. Very interesting. Let's keep going because of the way this thing ends is another claim of a lot of these UFO watchers and researchers. And he also has had this same situation arise with him.
I'm so glad that I have a chance to let you see this. Now you're starting to see an 8-point, like two squares, which is one on top of the other and rotate a little bit. This whole event only lasted 1 minute and 13 seconds. But it lasted a lot longer. Now I'll explain that in a minute. Now we're getting in closer. And those almost look like eyes or something, the white things, but they're not eyes. Watch this thing. You'll see that white part turn into an amber light. Yeah, I'm starting to get now better and better images of this thing. That's what I like about the latest night vision device is that this is in HD. even though this thing was up there quite a ways. You see that white ring around it? There it is. Did you see that? That amber sphere keeps showing. And as you watch, you'll keep seeing it. This thing is constantly changing, though. There was no wind or anything. It was very serene. And I've seen this aura around other UFOs that aren't the ones we've been talking about mostly. So anyway, I thought I was filming this thing. What I did is when I first started filming it, Jeff, I was on my patio, which is a covered patio, and as it was approaching, I knew I had to move the camera or I was going to lose it. So I picked it up and I moved out into the open and tried to get the camera back on it. And I did, but I thought I filmed it for about 20 minutes. And when I got the footage inside, after I had lost it, I had 1 minute and 13 seconds worth of footage. And I'm like, what? What? Oh man, I was like freaked out. It was like, did I lose that? Did you see that light go on?
Mm-hmm.
I was freaked out because I thought I lost it, but I didn't, because when it was at its closest is when I filmed it. So the best footage is what I already got. But what happened is it actually shut my camera down. There's that light again. It shut my camera down. And of course, this is when it was at the ultimate different shape than what you're looking at right now. You'll see that at the very end. And it's just swaying from side to side. And actually, I see a lot of that with these same ones that come over the mountain that I see with night vision. Now, this is the same thing. It busted out into the blue sky. Now it looks metallic. Now,
that's fantastic how that is the same thing, how the background changes in the camera, changes the look of this thing. Against a blue sky, it really does look metallic, and yet it's shape-shifting as a metallic sphere. That is very interesting. It's worth noting. Quite a mystery. Number one, what are these things made of? And they're speculating about that as they're kind of talking and bantering back and forth. But it's intriguing that he felt he recorded it for 20 minutes. Now, you're not going to misunderstand that length of time. He recorded it for, you spend 20 minutes out there with the camera. You know it's not a minute and 34 seconds, and yet that's all the video he ended up capturing was a minute 34. Are these orbs that capable of manipulating our electronics? For me personally, I'm anxious to find out. I'm going to get me a night vision camera, and I'm going to start pointing it toward the skies. See what I can find. This will be a spectacular way to spend 2025, is trying to get my own UFO footage. Go down to Hill Air Force Base down there south of me in Utah and see if there's anything over there. We heard that there were drones there. Maybe there's orbs there too.
I got to go back up. I got to back up just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try to stop this and show you what this thing ended up looking like. And this is all within seconds. You see that image right there?
Mm-hmm.
That is an 8-point star. And it's like you took a square and took another square and laid the other square over the other one, making the 8-point star. But that amber sphere makes it look like it's on fire. That's like like not even a 1/100th of a second. And so what it ended up doing, and I'll show you when it shut down my camera. This is still it. It was off screen. This is when I had moved the camera. Now it's back to this thing again. And now it's changing. And about right in here is where it stopped my camera. I'm going to pause. Okay. Go back a bit. Just show you this. It's very touchy. Okay, gosh darn it. You remember in World War II, they had the big mines out, for ships. They looked like a mace. Look at this thing there. That's a good shot of it with the light almost going away. You can see now it looks like a mace, like the old, they used to use as a weapon in the old days, or those mines in World War II.
Right.
But anyway, it got to the very end, and where this ends is where this is the first time I've ever had an interaction with one of these. And I know for sure it turned off my camera because my battery was dead right here. You watching it? That's it. That's how it ended.
Now, do you think it shut off your camera just because it was putting out a general signal, or it was specifically aiming at your camera?
It had to be something like that, because I've never had that happen except one other time. It was a red sphere coming, and it actually did turn my camera off on that one. But in this one, I thought my camera kept running. I was out there 20 minutes doing what we just looked at, and I thought there was way more. But the next night, when I brought the camera out, when I turned it on, the battery was dead. That's when I noticed the battery was dead. I never have dead batteries. Right now, I have 3 power packs that are always charging, above and beyond having batteries. And that way that I never get caught in a bad situation where I could tell you when I'm watching this thing and I know what I was looking at, would never, ever turn my camera off. I would never turn it off under a situation like that.
Now, that is intriguing. That's what happens at times with other researchers as well, as the batteries drain instantly. That's long-term, that's long-distance influence, isn't it? And yet they're being videoed and they know it, apparently. And this is just, this is what makes this mystery so interesting. Let's watch another couple of clips of his. He's got another couple of real beauties here. We're going to see the Mothership coming up here pretty quick. And it is astonishing. He has a Mothership in his video recordings.
Flashing. Okay. Oh, I love this one too. Now that was that. Now these white orbs are moving along. Some of them are flashing. Now watch this. I colored the background instead of gray. I made it blue so you can see this better. You see the 3 dim ones underneath?
Yes.
Watch what they do. These things were in formation, moving towards the right, and they're moving along, and all of a sudden they break formation and all come together in a little group of 3, and then they start shining brightly. Once again, as if they're acknowledging your presence. And then they float right back into that same line with ease. It's just amazing. This is slowed down because it all happens so fast, Oh, wait a minute. No, this isn't slowed down. This is normal speed. But these are those same ones. So there goes the first one that peeled off. It's floating back. It's going to go back into that same line. Then the first one that was all the way at the right. And this third one, next thing you know, they're right back in line again. And when I explain these to people that, when I have a video like this, I just let them know these are the moments where these things actually show you for sure that they are not anything ordinary. There was a reason that they just pulled off, and now they're all back in line and moving to the right again.
Yeah, I think what they're showing is they're trying to show us that we're not the jets flying in your skies. We're something different that's up in your skies. That would be my proposal. That was a quite remarkably interesting conjunction of orbs. there. And then finally, let's take a look at his mothership. This, wow.
And, you know, comments on this video, everyone understood that that was probably a mothership. And it's just so amazing, Jeff. Right now, there's the population of Las Vegas is 2,900,000. And I'm the only one that has this. Even though I'm urging people and telling them where to go, it just hasn't happened yet. Just Jaime Maussan that one time.
Well, to get a night vision camera, you do have to make quite a bit of an investment financially.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like I say, the first 3 years I lived in this house, even though I had that sighting, I never knew anything was going on in this part of the sky, because what's beyond those mountains is just the Mojave Desert. And if you go a little bit more to the left, then you would run into Area 51.
So what a great way to start the new year 2025 with some of the most clear, most beautiful, most mysterious, excellent, well done video captured UFOs. This is fun. This is, for me, this is fun. This is the type of stuff, and in the process, I'm sure, through the rest of this year, as I continue exploring, as I continue expanding my knowledge and grasp of this entire subject, I'm sure I'm going to find other videos that I'm going to have to debunk. And I'm going to find other videos that are really spectacular. The difference this year I'm going to try to do is make my own videos of orbs and UFOs. I'm looking forward to this. It'll become a more personal, involved nature that I will then be able to bring to my show and share with you. And I'm getting it lined up right now where I'm going to have some really terrific guests, and we are going to learn all about UFOs. We're going to learn how to be involved as citizens with our government officials so that we can get better, more realistic information on what is going on and what has gone on. I'm going to continue reading several books this year. Man, I have a lot of books on order, and I am reading them, and I will review them. And if possible, if the authors are still alive, I will try to get them on my show. I'm looking very forward to 2025. Going to keep my eye on these first 3 months, though. I've heard that there's potential, real interesting issues coming up. We'll see. If not in the first 3 months, in the first 6, it could be a very energetic year. And wouldn't that make it great, though, when you think about it? Yeah, I would like to see a UFO energetic 2025. That'll be fun to cover, to explore, to expand, to learn about, and to share with you, my fabulous audience. So thanks for watching my BYP Responds videos. Welcome to all you new subscribers. It's going to be a huge year. Feel free to share and like the video and all the videos that I produce. And I will catch up to you just as soon as I get some more information, which is pretty much daily. I don't know if I'll be able to make daily videos. I'm going to give it a good shot, though. If not, I'm going to make several hundred videos this year. Anyway, we're in for a good time. I'll catch up to you soon.